Yeah, hi friends. Doc South here. I'm on my day off and I'm knocking out some videos. But before I got to doing that today, Sandy wanted me to take some letters over to the post office. Now we live in Port Murray, New Jersey, and the post office is about 3 miles down the road. I mean, I could have stuck the letters in the mailbox, and the mailman would have gotten them, and they would have been in the mail, sometime this evening. But Sandy wanted those particular letters to be handed, put into the post office, hopefully to get out just a little bit sooner, because the letters brought in late might not go out till tomorrow, and I guess they're in some cases they're bills that got to be paid on time. Okay, so cool. I got it. I've got a day off, so I I drove over to the post office, about 3 miles away. Nice lady there and all that. And we talked a bit. And I, it's funny, you at that post office, you're, I, it's funny, I guess right behind the post office is a railroad track. And the railroad track does get occasional rail traffic. On occasion, a train will go through, probably going from the Delaware River, the Easton area into Hackettstown. It's not a passenger, it'd be freight traffic only. But it got me to thinking that this particular valley we're in, between Easton and say Hackettstown, at one time was quite the thoroughfare. You had, I believe, again, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think there was a section of plank road where it was a road made with planks, for crying out loud, right? There was the canal, there was the railroad, and gosh, you get right down to it. It was a pretty, for its day. It was it was probably something people really looked at it, and they just felt a real sense of pride and an achievement for doing all that they did. And it was no easy task. A lot of picks and shovels and whoo, tote that barge and lift that bale kind of stuff. And I think there was even an airport, not like Newark Airport or something, but I think they had. I think there was a bit of an airport. I don't think it took passenger traffic, but still may have been maybe airmail or something came in. I guess. Geez, get right down to it. And I can see a farmer loading up his I don't know, his rutabagas or whatever, and baskets of tomatoes, and taking the loading it into the freight car, so that the people in Jersey City could have or Hoboken could have tomatoes. I don't know. Yeah, it's get right down to it. It's kind of, I don't know. It makes you feel good to realize there were people back in those days that were so into improving things and putting their backs into the effort. I don't know. I just something about it just tickles me. Yeah, yeah. And it makes you feel good just riding down the road, realizing you're taking some of in some cases, not all, but in some cases, you're traveling where at one time perhaps a horse and buggy went through instead of a tractor trailer and a few T-birds. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It just kind of makes me feel kind of neat to be here. I imagine those would have been the days from around the Civil War into I imagine around World War One, in that neck of the woods. And doggone. Well, our ancestors, much like us, were very very industrious. Yep. Now we do a lot of stuff with computers, and of course we got airplanes and uh, air travel and pretty good rail service throughout the country for the most part, and lots of super highways. That can you imagine riding oh my gosh, a horse and buggy down Route 80? Woo! Yeah, I don't, I don't know if that would. It would be easy as long as there was no trucks and cars. I guess the horses would love it. But oh my gosh, that'd be an interesting sight. Oh, well, in any case, I digress. But it is, isn't it amazing? Some of the, we look at the old timers, and I don't know, I get a sense of pride thinking about them and how they really worked hard to build things and make them better, and to do it, to make an improvement in their state or their community. It's, maybe a town would be, it's the buttons on their shirts popping with pride over the idea that they've got a trolley. Huh? I know, a trolley, and then a train from Jersey City to Easton stops there 3 times a day. And you can get on board. Only costs you a quarter, or whatever. I don't know. It's something about it. And then, man, you got to go down and look at that airport we got. Boy, I tell you, that's one. Well, and it's just a field, with a runway on it. But they're, whoa, look at that! Here come a plane now. Yeah, and it's just something about it. Anyway, enough of my baloney. I'm, I guess, just remembering the good old days, and I'll see you later. I guess people will be talking about us in the future, and yep, they had these things they used to put on their desks, and it was called a computer. That's what they called it. Can you believe it? They called it a computer. And now it's just this little button in our heads. That's all we need. It'll be someone will be messing with us. Yeah, and they sat around and watched this thing, that doggone, what did they call that, Martha? Yeah, TV. TV, for crying out loud. Can you imagine? Don't they know they can just put a little button on their head and see any doggone movie they ever want? Huh? Yeah, I know. Well, our turn is coming, I suppose. It'd be interesting to think on some of the things that we do now that we think we're so bright and worldly wise to be using. It'll be interesting to see how, give it 50 years, people are going to be looking back and say, oh man, those people from what, 2023? Boy, were they hicks. We'll see. I'm sure it'll happen. We'll see you later. God bless. Bye now.